Hi again, I'm Inky, and what we're going to be reviewing today with the Scrape RS sat on top of it, looking very posh on this very reasonably priced 25 watt Kangside Vamo box. I bought this just purely because I couldn't believe one, the price of it, and two, the size of it. I love little dinky devices, especially to just bung in my top pocket when I go to work. So I bought this. I got it off of GearBest, and I think at the time it cost me around about £13. Now I do know that they've been doing flash deals on these, and as a result they're quite often even cheaper than that. So for that kind of money, it's a no-brainer really. It's an 18350 device. The battery goes in through the bottom there. I'll just read some specs because I can't really remember. I'm getting old and I can't remember everything just off the top of my head. But it is 24mm, so that's wide that way, by 41mm, so that way, by 50mm, so that way. So as you can see, that's pretty bloody tiny. It comes in black, which I've got here, silver, red and blue, and the red is actually a red. It's not one of these kind of ones where they say it's red and it's actually pink. It is actually red. It takes, as I said, the 18350 battery, does 7 to 25 watts, and can be used with a coil, according to them, a 0.2 to 3 ohm coil. Now, battery safety, I wouldn't be comfortable running an 18350 battery at 0.2 ohms. It's a little bit, you've got to think about your amps, and so I'd say probably 0.5 and above, and you're more than safe with a decent 18350 battery. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll go down, have a look at it. There's not a great deal to see. It's a fairly simple device, and then once we've done that, we'll come back up, and I'll tell you what I think. I absolutely, a bit of a spoiler, I absolutely love this thing. It's great. Anyway, so we'll go down, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so here we've got the Kangside box, as you can see. Nothing particularly spectacular here, but then again, at this price point, the packaging's not going to be exactly what you call amazing, but it is what it is. So I'll just pop this open. Okay, first of all, we've got possibly the shortest micro USB lead I've ever seen. Not even bothered using that. A little instruction book that covers everything. The language in it is pretty good. There's some English, and it's understandable that way. A little QC card, and the main event itself. So as you can see, it's a tiny little device, absolutely weeny, lovely clicky buttons. I've got a 510 at the top, which is stiff, but yep, it's spring loaded. And you've got two little a bit of muck at the top here. This is a mod that I have used since I've got it, so you know it's not looking its best right now, although the paintwork's held up really well considering. But you've got these two little Allen keys at the top, and same on the bottom here. This is your battery cap, which unscrews nice and easy. It's got little grabbing points to it. It's actually a better battery cap than the one that's on the M class by Inky, which is a hell of a lot more expensive. And what you do, your 18350, pop that in there, positive up, stick your cap back on, and screw her in. Making more of a cock up than Okay, and as you can see, it's just come up with hello. So let's just bring this up a little bit. I'll just see if I can get that better focused. Like so. Okay, so now we have, what's the best way to turn this? Just going back to front and sideways. And okay, so as you can see, you've got your oh my god, it's being such a putz when it comes to this. As you can see, you've got your it comes up with atomizer check because there's no atomizer on the top there, showing the battery indication, showing 9.99 ohms, which basically saying there's nothing on there, and it's set to 17 watts. That's about it. You've got your plus and minus buttons, which are nice and clicky and responsive. There's no lock for them. This is not a particularly advanced device at all, but it does do exactly what you want it to do, which is provide power to your atomizer. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll put on the tank that I generally use on this, which a lot of people find quite amusing. It's the Scrape RS. So basically, I've got one of the cheapest, tiniest mods with one of the most expensive atomizers that I own sitting on top of it. But I like the way that that looks. It makes a nice stealthy device that I can put it in there and I fire it with that finger. And as you can see, oh, I've just turned it off. So you can turn it off by pressing this 5 times. I'll turn it back on. There we go, you get the hello again. Okay. And the only other feature that we have on here, I believe, is to switch between watts and volts. So if I press this 2, 3, it switches to volts. It's 1, 2, 3, back to watts again. Okay. It's a nice brushed aluminium. Certainly feels like aluminium anyway. Anodized black. Got the little Kangside logo on there. USB port for charging. I don't really tend to use it. I generally find that at the kind of wattage that I run my Scrape at, this little setup will last me at work, no problem at all. I don't need to charge it, but if I do, then I just bung the little. If I did need to charge it, I could just bung the little micro USB cable in there, and we'd have chargeability from it. But yeah, I think it's just a really cool looking little device there. Not particularly, as I say, not particularly advanced or anything like that, but at this kind of money, it doesn't really need to be, I don't think. It does exactly what I want it to do, which is just it's just a little beater for taking to work when I'm generally a mouth to lung kind of guy. When I go to work, I tend to prefer to use these kind of tanks. But as you can see, that's just tiny in my hand. Admittedly, I have got big paws, but that's pretty small, and I fire it with that button there. I'll just switch it off again. There we go. Hello. So as you can see, let's just zoom in on that a bit more, for more focus. That is a cracking little mod. See you back up top. Okay, welcome back. What can I say that I haven't already? This is just an absolute beauty of a little device. As you can see, my big old paw just swallows it up, and I love it. I take it to work virtually every day and have done since I got it. I've had the occasional day where I've just taken in a dripper recently, but other than that, this and the Scrape RS have been constant companions for me. When my wife was in hospital, this was the device that I just slung in my pocket to take with me, because it's just nice and convenient, nice and small, doesn't take up much room. it's incredibly well built. It's a solid lump of a thing. It's really quite hefty. The buttons are great. I've had no issues at all whatsoever. There's been absolutely nothing that I can complain about with this device. So if you're in the market for a dinky little device for just, you know, an everyday kind of throw it about, not even care about it. I literally have not looked after this at all. I just throw it in my pocket, chuck it about. It's been dropped on the floor, it's been kicked across the floor. None of the paint has scratched or even come close to looking like it's damaged. It's just an absolute masterpiece. It's brilliant. I mean, I've got much more expensive mods. You know, the Sigelli M class, I've got the Sigelli 150, the Sigelli 75. This thing has had more use over the last month or so than any of those, because I use it daily and it is just delightful. Battery life. Now, some of you might find that the battery life is not great, but it's an 18350. So you're not going to get huge amounts of vape time out of this. But if you, like me, if you're running something at sort of 16 to 17 watts, like a mouth to lung type tank, or a high ohm build, so sort of one ohm and above, you're going to get a good day's worth of vaping out of this. But even if you don't, you can charge it with the USB port on the side, or you can be like me and just have I've got a box of batteries. These little, you've got 4 of these little suckers sat in a normal battery box. It's not a hard, it's no great hardship to carry a battery box and this, because it's so tiny. If you've been thinking about one, I would thoroughly recommend it, and certainly I'd go for it if I was you. I'm actually thinking about grabbing another one of these maybe for my wife, because it's just a cracking little device, and it's nice and sturdy, nice and easy to just stow away, and yeah. So I'm having a bit of a love affair with this thing. It's just great. So we'll leave it there. Cracking little device. I got as I say, got it from GearBest. Came to about £13, free delivery. Can't go wrong. Anyway, we'll leave it there. If you've liked this video, please click on the like button. And if you want to see more from me, click on the subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.